So, for those who did not, like, there was something I was saying about price will always create a low or create a high when it wants to move to a certain direction, and it has to take out the high or low. Most of you said you did not understand what I was saying, so I'm going to show you what I've found out while backtesting, right? So on Wednesday, at first let me use the weekly time frame for this because it's kind of the thing that's is stronger, right? So you can use any time frame for this. Now there was something here. I guess there was a rejection last week, a very strong push to the upside, and so that means, and it was a rejection, so it changed character. It changed character on the daily time frame. So our entry will be either the head or the shoulder, right? Our entry will be either the head or the shoulder. Now, so on the 4 hour time frame, then on the 4 hour time frame, you look if there's any RBS there, right? So according to our strategy, so this is our zone here. This particular one is our zone here. Now the question is, on the daily time frame, do you get me? So how do I know if this is my real zone? Now look at this. On the weekly time frame, listen attentively. On the weekly time frame where there was a rejection, and then daily made a change of character, but mark that particular week that gave that strong rejection. Do you get me? This particular week that gave the strong rejection, and also mark here, and also mark this week. So this is what will happen. Now when price reject and change character, there would always be a low that price must take out during that change of character. Now the SMC traders will call it liquidity, right? So there's always this low, this first pullback, the price will always like remove, right? So if this is the first pullback, now look for the nearest POI that price is going to hit before moving to the upside. This is it. This is the nearest one. Now you would say, what about this OCL? Because an OCL2 is also a key level. What about this OCL? Or what about this head? Now let me now ask you a question. Within the head, the OCL and the shoulder, which one is the nearest point to that particular low? Have you seen it? So this is the nearest point. So once you pick the nearest POI, boom, price will just rise up, and it is little to no drawdown. Do you get? So it's just like this one too. So the main thing is, you have to wait for that particular week to finish. For example, let me use daily time frame. Let me not use weekly time frame, because I feel whenever I use weekly time frame, some of you will be like, Omo, it's too long. How can we wait till that time? Now this is the daily time frame. This is the rejection. Now move down to the 4 hour time frame. We saw a change of character here, a clear change of character. So it means price is always coming to majorly the head. Price is always coming to the head, always. But the only thing that is going to stop price from coming to the head is if there is a low, the price has a low or high, the price have already set. So this is it. Let's use this line chart. Now I would call this particular one something like this. This particular thing here looks like something like this. This particular one here look like something like that. So obviously I'm going to call that the low, the high that price has given. So it has to take it out, Abby. But remember, I'll have to wait for that day to finish on the daily time frame. Let me show you. I'll have to wait for this day to finish, this particular one to finish. Now when that day of that rejection finish, there must be a high or a low that price is going to give in that day. But if you don't see it that day, the next day you will see it. So that means you have to wait for that next day to finish first before you start looking for your entry. Now same thing. So this is the high that price must take out, I mean. So that means the nearest one now, the nearest place to this high would be the shoulder and the head. Shoulder and the head. Do you get? Now there's a reason why price did not reach here, because sometimes if you are choosing the shoulder or the head, you should always look if there's any confluence on the 1 hour time frame, like maybe if there's any SBR or something like that on the 1 hour time frame. Now on the 1 hour time frame, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that at all. So it means we missed this trade. Maybe every day be Christmas. We missed this trade. And besides, this particular place confluenced with this same structure here. You can see that is the shoulder. So it's confluenced with the structure there. So let's now drag it down maybe to the next point of interest where price is going to reverse on a bigger time frame. We know that it is here. Why? Because on the weekly, the same thing. No stress. When you see a change of character and a rejection in the higher time frame, where will be your point of interest? Very simple. Wait for price to create a low. Now when that wick that changed character, it created this low, this one here. See this red candle and this green candle, this low here. So what is the nearest place POI? Is either the shoulder and then the open close and then the head. So this is the open close. Very easy, very short. And then boom, we catch trade 1, then trade 2 sets in on Wednesday, long trade 2 on Wednesday. Notice how precise this thing is, and trust me, price would want to break here. Do you get? Price would want to break here and even shoot higher than here. So this is how to catch it. So it's with practice. I haven't perfected it yet, like practice it very well to perfect it. That's why I haven't been trading like currency pair or gold, or because I know that I can't use a live account to practice. Do you get? I can't use a live account to practice. But this is exactly what I am talking about. Exactly what I am talking about. You wait for, according to SMC traders, they call it liquidity. You see that first pullback, you wait for it, then you check the nearest POI within that first pullback, which is the shoulder or the head, or the OCL, and then you are done, and it works like magic. So same thing with gold. Let me delete this. Same thing with gold. Cancel. Away. I'm coming. Okay, let's. So now, same thing with gold. Let's click here. Let's use here. Same thing with gold that I was preaching. Do you get? Same thing. This is it. There was a strong push from a place of interest. Why did here bounce as a place of interest? See, listen attentively. Why did here bounce as a place of interest? Very simple. On the weekly time frame, there was a rejection here, from here, and that rejection gave a change of character, right? And normally we enter from the shoulder or from the head. Now we've waited for that week. You first of all wait for that week to finish, which was here. So was the week. Waited for it to finish. Now ask yourself, during that week, that time that the price went up, was there any low created? No, there was no low. So you have to wait for the next week to form, which was this next week. It has to form finish, but this next week is also going to another certain POI. Don't forget, price moved from POI to POI, so it was going to another POI, and then it triggered. That is what is now coming down here. Do you get me? Now on the daily time frame, the next week there was a low, so price will always take out that low. Where is the nearest POI? The shoulder. Another POI is this open close. Another POI is the head. But which one is the closest? The shoulder. The shoulder. So that is why there was this strong bounce first. Do you get? And now this strong bounce is now a confirmation that yes, it's about to move. But this strong bounce gave also a change of character. I hear me? A change of character. So let's mark out that day that there was a strong push. That was this day. Very strong push. And then let's mark out 4 hour. So during that day, let me ask you, was there any low that needed to be shifted out? Now you will say no, right? Because obviously these are green candles, they are no low. Now let's go to that GBP, GPJPY. During this particular time. Now notice I indicated here as a low. Do you get? But there are only 3 candles here. Do you get? Only 3 candles here. So how is it that is a low? Just use your line chart to identify the low. So now I'm coming. So this was, so in the XAUSD, would you now see that there was a low that price should take out within this particular region where price rejected? Yes, there is this particular one here. This was the low that price should take out. So now where is the nearest POI for price to take out? I'll choose here. This OCL is the nearest. This particular OCL, the nearest POI that price should take out. And let's see if it corresponds with the one. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So it corresponds with a lot of things. Let me copy this. I need to copy this in order to place it. So this is the nearest OCL. So it also corresponds. It corresponds. So this is where our entry will be. Here too. You get, and how many SL? Just drag it to the low of, you see that particular rejection there. Simple. Pull this one maybe to the next place where price may likely hit, and then you are done.